Pit road speed 45 miles per hour. You see the pit window. No drivers had to drop to the rear. Teammates on the front row. Green flag in the air, and we are underway at New Hampshire. Great jump for Newman. Kurt Busch early moved to the inside of Tony Stewart to the runner-up position. Kurt was good here in practice on Friday, good again yesterday, and I think driver 22 serving notice earlier. He came to play.
I think Stewart's car is pretty good too, based on what I saw in practice. Those guys ran a long time, and there wasn't much of a fall off on that car. They ran within, I think, 0.3 of a second of their first lap when they ran like 50 laps on those tires.
And I think, you know, at that point in time, Kurt got position on Tony. Tony just sees up. There's no reason for those guys to race for second and third side by side and let the 39 of Ryan Newman get away from him.
Saw Montoya go around Jeff Gordon. He feels good as well.
And don't forget, you don't want to race really hard right when your tires are like this. This is the worst the cars are going to be. As the pressures come up and the cars start to feel better, you can start making moves like Tony is right now. But that first lap or so, you're just trying to get the pressures built up in the tires.
Yeah,
look at how. I thought he was sideways.
I did too for a minute. But when he comes up, you know, Tony lets him go by, lets him run a lap in front. Tony's tire pressure comes up exactly like you're saying, Wally. Comes up and he rolls through the center and drives back up under.
And we got a battle up front. Tony Stewart around teammate Ryan Newman for the race lead.
Really wasn't much of a battle. I think the 39 just let this teammate and boss go by there on that one.
Nothing wrong with that. Nope. He gets a lead a lap. We'll see if Tony pulls over and lets him go back by. We'll know that's what it was. But I don't think Tony's ever pulled over for anybody.
Newman and Stewart, two of the drivers that need something to happen this weekend or over the course of the next 8 races to solidify their spot in the chase, and both have been very good over the last couple of days here at New Hampshire. Pit road is open, and I am sure as we are just shy of halfway through a fuel run, we will see plenty of takers and plenty of different strategies. Chris Neville gets our pit coverage started.
And David Ruderman going to come in, just going to take 2 tires. He's looking for a little bit of grip in the center of the corner, but Rodney Childers said 2 tires and fuel. Ralph?
Tony Stewart pulls into his box. His car was getting tighter and tighter with every lap. He said the forward bite was still hanging there. Slight air pressure change, Ralph.
They're going to make a track bar adjustment to help the handling for Brad Keselowski. No tires and fuel. He's away. Marty.
Ryan Newman, middle of your screen. They left the debate up into where it'll be 4 or 2 tires. 2 tires last second. Ryan Newman will win the race off pit road. The car was a little loose. It was an air pressure adjustment to tighten it up. Adam.
Powering NASCAR, and this is what happened to the point leader when he made his pit stop. Issues for him. He has since come back down pit road. He restarts outside the top 25. McMurray did not pit, and he's the race leader as we go back under green.
When they dropped the green flag and the leaders took off, Kyle Busch was just going into turn 3 because he pitted again because they lost so much position, so many positions. They figured might as well come back in and let's get 4 and let's go from there.
Kyle started 19th, and that's where he was running when the caution came out and he made his pit stop. And it's not been a good start to the day for the man who had the title lead coming in. He scored in 41st position right now. And
in the opening, we talked about guys gaining positions on 2-tire stops. Jimmy Johnson went in the garage or in the pits running 20th. He comes out running 22nd. He didn't gain anything on a 2-tire stop. It's the same thing with Dale Earnhardt Jr. Those guys had already said early on, we're going to 2-tire and get positions. Everybody's 2-tiring to get that position, so nobody really changed positions.
But like you said in the pre-race, all right, come in 20th, let me go out 20th or better.
Yeah,
he lost two spots, and you were pointing that out on the pit crew on the pre-race.
And something
he's got to step it up.
Something everybody watching right here is what Jamie McMurray did. Stayed on track, did not pit, gains the race lead, and we'll see how it balances as the run continues. Right now, he's under attack by the pole sitter, Ryan Newman, who took 2 tires on his stop and trying to get the lead. And here comes that Penske bunch right behind him.
Well, you know the one car is going to be better because his pressures are up already, and these guys' pressures are just coming up. Once they get up, I think they'll pass Jamie pretty easy. But It's a good strategy call. You got to roll the dice because you never know where these yellows are going to work out. It could work out for the one car down the road, but he's going to have to come in for fuel probably in about 40 laps. These other guys aren't.
And there goes Newman. He's got the lead again, Marty.
And that's not what the rest of the field wants to see. Once the 39 and 14 got out from everyone else, they just really checked out on that last run. A little too loose, especially early in the run for Ryan Newman. Wally talked about it at the top of the show. When you have that low left front air pressure, it's a handful. So that's another reason to take 2 tires. You avoid that problem. That left front tire, normal air pressure. You got 2 right side fresh ones on. Ryan Newman hoping he can pull away from everybody, Adam.
And his teammate Tony Stewart, who was leading when the caution came back, got cycled back a bit on those pit stops. Right now he's in the 4th position.
And you know, good point by Marty. Kyle said it earlier. If you're gonna pass guys, the best time to do it, and as many as you can, is the first part after you make a pit stop. The first 8, 9, 10 laps, that's going to be your best opportunity because then everybody evens out, and it's really tough to make up ground on somebody.
Kurt Busch talked about earlier how good he was in practice Friday and Saturday, and he's got something for Ryan Newman.
Boy, he sure does.
There's David Rudiman to the inside of Kurt Busch's teammate Brad Keselowski. That's the battle for 5th. Off of 4, the battle for the lead. Busch trying to get a nose underneath Newman for the top spot.
And that's the hard part right there. Just getting off the corner. And Newman just backed off the throttle and let Kurt go. It's early in the race. And if you're going to race something like that, all these guys behind you are going to catch up to you in a hurry. So that was a good move right there.
And there's a mess behind him. How about Rudiman, Burton, Gordon, Menard, Keselowski? They're all there for position. 2 guys.
Look at the 31 slide up the racetrack right there. That he went in there, he got in there really hard, but the car definitely, you can see where it was losing grip and it slid up the racetrack, but it looks a lot better than it did at the start of the race. So they made some adjustments on that to help it in the short run a little bit. This car is really good right now.
We heard from the in-car cameras and watch out the back here of Junior's car. When the 18 of Kyle Busch rolled in on him, how long Kyle had to wait to pick up the gas.
Whoa, something just something broke or he lost a tire. How about that?
Second caution of the day for Kyle Busch.
Great camera shot, man.
Great shot.
The point leader coming in, hammered the wall.
Go to the garage. Go to the garage.
Something definitely broke on that car. I don't know if he cut the right front or what, but it actually, you can see that car just took off.
Yeah, watch this replay, but I want to go back to another replay after we see this. You see Kyle go down in the corner, and all of a sudden the thing turns dead right. That's a flat tire. He hit hard. That's a hard hit.
That was contact from the 88.
Contact with the 88. Remember when they were there, when we were watching the 18 and the 88, and we saw that smoke? If we go back to that shot, because there was constant smoke, it wasn't just a little bit of smoke.
They were leaning on each other's smoke.
Then they got off, and they got off each other.
Goes down in, you'll see the tire blow. You hear it blow. And once that happens, the only thing that's going to stop you is the wall. There's nothing you can do about it.
What a difference a week makes. Last week he dominates, wins at Kentucky, takes over the point lead. Now he's shown as 4th in the standings. Kyle Busch 3 positions behind brother Kurt, who is the new man on point in the championship chase, and he also leads this race.
And this plays into Jamie McMurray's hand. We were just talking about it earlier, and this is a really good move for those guys.
McMurray will pit from 8th here. It'll be his first stop of the day. All the others last pitted under caution at lap 31, Chris.
Well, Jeff Burton was looking for rear grip on the first stop. They just did 2 tires. They dropped the air pressure. This time, still looking for rear grip. They're going to do 4 tires on the 31. Once again, dropping the air pressure. Matt?
Energy from the pit box. Steve Addington saying at this juncture they're going 4 tires. They may call an audible. No, they are going forward. Meanwhile, the 14 of Tony Stewart, they've already made their chassis adjustment. 2 tires heats away, Marty.
Tony Gibson said, stay here. I do not know whether we're going to do 2 or 4. They decide 2 tires at the last moment. Ryan Newman actually suggested that they will win the race off pit road. Once again, forward bite was his biggest issue, and air pressure adjustment once again for Newman, Adam.
Mark Martin stayed on track. He is the race leader. Ryan Newman, the quickest off pit road. Kurt Busch with 4 tires, the 9th to come off the pit lane. You're cycling to take 2 tires or no tires for that run to gain track position.
But does Mark have to take 4 now? Because he stayed out. So he can lose a little bit of that back.
Pits are open. Pit stop's coming at lap 101, Chris.
Yeah, this team got really lucky. You see that caution flew. All big high fives for the entire team. Mark Martin brings it into the box. It looks like it's going to be 4 tires on the 5 car. Going to do fuel tires. He's still looking for the car to turn a little bit better in the center, but Lance McGrew telling him that he was quicker than leaders, doing the left side tires. Matt?
And the 4 car of Casey Kane, 2 tires, he's already away. He felt like his left sides were working well. They called an audible for Tony Stewart when he was on pit road from 4 tires to 2, knowing so many cars would be taking 2. They didn't want to lose the track position, Marty.
And Matt, a sneaky call from Tony Gibson, who called for 4 tires the entire time. And Ryan Newman knew the entire time he was only taking 2 tires, half a round down on the track bar. They kept those left side tires on. That's now 101 laps on those left side tires. This could get interesting. Shows you how important that track position is, right, Adam?
Third caution of the day cleaned up at New Hampshire. Green flag back in the air. We complete lap 104. Jimmy Johnson stayed out and is the race leader.
Boy, that was a great restart. Had a little help from Casey Kane on that. Pushed him down the straightaway. And these guys are banking. They've got to come in 30 laps. Jimmy Johnson. These guys are banking a caution coming out in the next 30 laps.
Yes.
In order for this gamble to help.
Yeah, the 48 car is in the same position that we talked earlier that the 1 car of Jamie McMurray is. They need that caution to keep that track position.
And we are at a stage of this race where we are just due for a long green flag run. You know, last year in this event, we went 200 consecutive laps under green without a caution, and we've already had 3 in the first 106 laps here today.
And he doesn't need a caution like right now.
No.
He needs it, 20 laps or 25 laps from now.
Exactly. You need to run a few laps, and at some point in time, we're going to have to go to our man Larry McReynolds. Not right now, but at some point in time to sort out this 2-tire, 4-tire, because Jimmy has 4 tires because he changed 4 previously on the pit stop previous to this last one.
And guys like Stuart Newman have not changed their left sides yet, which, if we get into a green situation, could bite them later, because they're going to have to change 4 when everybody else, like Jimmy Johnson, comes in and changes 2. So that's just, again, you never know what's going to happen on this thing.
No,
so
it's a crazy rotation and a crazy cycle, and it's the reason being Goodyear brought a new tire this year.
Yeah.
And it's a totally different tire than these guys have raced on. They watched the nationwide race and watched how it played out, so they're willing to go off that strategy and some of the same gambles that the nationwide guys took yesterday.
We have a new race leader here at New Hampshire. While we were away, Casey Kane to the inside of Jimmy Johnson for the top spot.
And Jimmy's going to need this caution in about another 10 laps in order for this strategy for those guys to work in their favor. If not, they're going to have to come in and make a pit stop under green. And again, you make a pit stop under green here, you can lose a lap.
Yeah, because pit road,
it's
a long pit road. The corners are so slow, you have to slow down so much to even get into the pits.
Yeah.
And then when you leave, you can't accelerate as fast as you can at other mile and a half racetracks.
And right now, he's struggling. As you see right now, he's losing a lot of time. In this next 10 laps, he's going to lose a lot more track time on Casey Kane.
Yeah.
He was leading just 2 laps ago. Now he's almost 2 seconds behind. It's just a couple laps.
Both Gordon and Burton have gotten around Jimmy Johnson, Ralph.
Well, it's all risk reward, isn't it? That was the gamble. How long could they stay out before the yellow came out? They're going to have to pit now at about 10 laps and come in. The last time they pitted, guys, was on lap 59. They've been begging him to save fuel. Hang in there as best you can. Keep your fingers crossed for that yellow flag.
As they run on track, Jimmy Johnson is taking over the championship lead, but that will likely go away when he makes this green flag pit stop. As Ralph said, it's now around 10 laps away. And the reason Johnson the point leader, because Kyle Busch behind the wall, and we're about to have a new leader, your man Jeff Gordon to the point, Wally.
Yeah, I've just, like I said, watching him even early, his car just looks so good through the center, which is a key here in New Hampshire. And well, he just charged to the front and just see ya.
And when he made that pass, he rolled, just as you say, he rolled incredible through the center of 3 and 4, but had that thing pointed straight when he came up off the corner. As the 4 car drifted out to the wall, the 24, Jeff Gordon, just drove straight by him on the inside.
Nice work, bud. Volt check, please. Just a tiny bit less than the last time, but almost the same.
until the end of the race. Now, right now, we're right about halfway, but that's one thing is hopefully that battery will last 150 laps.
Well, Wally, I think the biggest thing is you've got to have him cut off anything he possibly can. Unfortunately, like his air conditioning system, I'd be reluctant to cut all the brake blowers because you use so much brake here.
Somebody in the wall, Keselowski.
Brad
Looks like
Keselowski
he may have
into the wall with our fourth caution of the day.
He might have cut a right front tire there. And this talking about the 48 car, this is what they needed.
Well, and Kevin Harvick also had made a green flag pit stop. He was a lap down.
Because Stremme will get the lucky
Yeah,
dog.
Stremmy's the first to lap down. Gordon had gotten around him.
But
So
Johnson will get the wave around.
And,
So
and he's
that
only
puts
got
him
a
in
few
good
laps
spot.
on his tires, which brings him back.
Look back at Brad Keselowski going down into turn 3.
Same thing, you know, and Kyle Busch talks about it earlier.
Yeah.
This is the point of the part of the race where you do get those beads to start melting on these things. When you have long green flag runs and you're used in the brakes like these cars are right now, that's when those things get really hot in the right front.
Yeah, you know, I guess we were wrong when we said that Kyle and those guys that got together. I think they had got together, but I think Goodyear confirmed that he did blow a bead. It's just hard to believe you blow a bead that early. Kyle must have just been driving the wheels off of it on the brakes. But you see, and when you see that the picture of Brad, when the air comes out of the tires, it just blows the hood up. I mean, it's really funny the way it looks, but that's a hard hit when you go down in that corner and that thing blows like that.
Pit stops lap 145, Chris.
Yeah, Jeff Burton, great car right now. They've been on this two-tire strategy. So this time, Todd Merritt, you're saying we're going to go 4 tires, no changes. So just 4 tires and fuel. Matt?
And the 24 came to a stop, and right before he was mentioning about it being hot and they were going to get some ice. He goes, no, the car is running hot. No chassis adjustment for Gordon on this stop, but 4 tires, Ralph.
Greg Biffle's been running really good, getting a little chatter late in the run out of the rear end of the car. 4 tires of fuel. They don't want it freed up. They're going to leave all the adjustments alone, Marty.
Bottom of your screen for the first time all day long. Ryan Newman will take 4 tires that are going to go down. 1 round on the track bar. Also a half pound out of both rear tires to help the forward bike. Kurt Busch will be your winner off pit road, Adam.
Kurt Busch taking 2 tires, Marty. Brian Vickers also gets 2. Kurt Busch, great restart. Jumps out in front of Brian Vickers. David Rudeman hops in the line behind him. How about Carl Edwards? Haven't talked about him today. He's up to 5th now. Actually 4th in front of Juan Pablo Montoya.
Yeah, Carl's car was not good at the beginning of the race. I'm not sure where he's at this point, but they were really struggling.
Just loose.
Hey, Carl Edwards, got to give some credit to that team. Struggled yesterday in practice, started 15th today, dropped outside the top 20, and here he is going for the runner-up position.
But I think they dropped outside the top 20 because of tire strategy. And you see, got down in there, the car got a little free, got a little loose.
Still there.
And he bounces off the side of the 83. We've seen that multiple times today. But I think Carl and those guys lost their track position because they were one of the first teams to go to the 4-tire strategy. Back and forth, back and forth.
Now, there have been a lot of guys that moved up and down the leaderboard today, and it's been very misleading because of what Kyle just documented. Varying strategies. He's not quitting on the 83 of Brian Vickers. And David Reagan feeling a little bit aggressive behind Jeff Burton as well. This from 2nd to 5th. And we got trouble. Denny Hamlin goes around, former New Hampshire winner. 6th caution of the day, and Andy Lally also spinning behind.
Don't know what happened with the 11th. Andy's rear bumper's messed up.
Back there.
Getting set to go back under green. Kurt Busch, Brian Vickers on the front row as we put the green flag back in the air here at New Hampshire.
A 3 wide doesn't work a lot here.
No. No, and I'm going to tell you what, we have seen Ryan Newman get some restarts. We saw him on a restart last week at Kentucky. I want to document that Jeff Gordon is 33rd, back on the lead lap. But as fast as he's been this race, It's going to be interesting to watch him and see how he comes back up there, and if they can put themselves in position with only half the race to go.
And back there with him, Denny Hamlin, who brought out the caution but stayed on the lead lap. Ryan Newman, been good today, led more laps than anyone. He goes to the inside of Joey Logano.
Oh, Mark is in the middle again. That's the second time he's been in the middle coming off of turn 2.
That was Clint Boyer he was racing with. Haven't heard a lot from Clint today, but he's back in the top 15 and trying to make his way to the top 10.
Mark and Casey made a little bit of contact.
Menard, Montoya, and Jr. made it 3 wide off of turn 4.
Great camera angles.
Yeah. You can see how hard it is when Jeff rolls in the corner here, and he rolls all the way up past the 1 car, or at least door to door. But on that inside, when you go to the gas, sometimes it's harder to get that run up off the corner.
Because that right front doesn't want to stick. It just, if you get on the gas, all it does is it'll slide up and you'll hit the car that's on the outside of you.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, Jessica. Oh.
That's Mark Martin going around right in front of everybody. Left rear tire.
Gone.
How about our 7th caution of the day?
That was going to be wicked right there, because Jeff had already committed to go low as he got down in the corner to pass another car.
Martin was running in the 14th position.
Oh, you see the smoke right there. It's already coming apart.
Yeah, he was just trying to nurse it. Got to the bottom of the racetrack and it just gave way.
Yeah, he had already slowed down, was trying to get out of the way, trying to get down to the bottom of the racetrack and let him go around him.
We may have a little. There's Mark in the center, and I was telling you, he was in the middle quite a bit. These guys were bouncing off each other a lot, whether that cut the left rear or not. This was the first time. Actually, about a lap later, he was in the middle again and made some contact.
Oh, because he's got no brake in that left rear. There's no tire to stop the thing. Mark just got in there way too hot for a car on 3 tires. But you saw the way it just slid that way. Now he's struggling to even get it back in his pit box.
Talked about Ryan Newman starting to put things together for the late stages of the race, Marty.
Yeah, Adam, he's trying to get back to the front and using his teammate Tony Stewart, as you guys mentioned, with a couple of picks to get back to the front. The problem with Ryan all day long has been the fact that in the battle for the lead. How about that, Adam?
Right on cue, his teammate Tony Stewart to the inside of Kurt Busch. No problems completing the pass, Marty. Juan Pablo Montoya, somebody's pre-race pick to win this race. Was that you, Petty, that picked him?
I think I chose the 42 today as my pick when you guys were laughing at me.
There's the other pick. Right behind
48.
Jay.
Yeah, that's your pick. Look, I'm not catching up to you guys. I'm just trying to get. You guys get the Pizza Hut pizza. I get the box. Okay, that's all I care about.
But you know, we had a period of this race where you thought, no way, are Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jimmy Johnson going to be in contention? They both started outside the top 25, but they played the strategy game and in the top 10.
We never said that.
Well,
did we say that?
I don't think we said that.
This is going to figure into the strategy a little bit, because there were a lot of guys that were getting ready to have to come down pit road under green as you see them go get the debris here up in turn 1.
Well, this definitely helps the guys that had to come down twice for fuel. So it's going to put everybody on the same deal as far as fuel goes. It's going to be interesting to see what they do on the tires, though, here.
Going to get the pit stops with 84 to go, Chris.
Well, Brian Vickers saying his car's still a little bit loose. They're going to make a wedge adjustment, going to do 4 tires on this stop. But the team also saying they're going to be about 15 laps short on fuel. Matt?
And Tony Stewart said his car was very good during that run. He was just babying and trying to save fuel. They're going to take 4 tires here because Jeff Gooch Patterson, the gas man, has to pack that fuel cell full of fuel. Ralph.
The key is the gas, Matt. Just like you said, they're thinking about 10 laps short here with Jimmy Johnson. They're packing it all in. He shakes his head. Yeah, we're good, Marty.
Right on the edge of the window for Carl Edwards on the bottom of your screen, forced to take 4 tires because they took 2 last time. It's a wedge adjustment and air pressure adjustment. He'll lose a ton of track position. I believe there was probably fuel only on a few of those stops, Adam.
And the first off pit road, indeed, Marty, a guy that took fuel only. Clint Boyer jumping some 10 positions. Joey Logano and Marcus Ambrose stay out. They're the top 2 with 84 left at New Hampshire.
It's just not panning out for him on race days right now.
Joey Logano, Marcus Ambrose did not pit with all the others at lap 217. They're on the front row for the restart with 80 laps remaining at New Hampshire.
This is where you start seeing a little bit more contact on this part of the race.
Marcus Ambrose able to get the jump in front of Logano. Boyer was the first off pit road a moment ago, but he took no tires in that cycle of stops.
I know I keep saying it. Jeff Gordon's back to 15th. He's got him past every car at least 4 times today.
We're got in there hard, just touched the 20 car of Logano.
And that really opened the door for Montoya, who's got some momentum on the inside. Maybe not.
And this is where, like I said, you get greedy. This time of the race, you're going to take more race track than you've been using all day long.
Tell you, got to keep your eye on Ryan Newman. He's 5th right now. And when you look at guys in the top 5, he has been the most dominant of that group, although Jeff Burton's had a great day, and here he comes for position.
Newman's got a little bit better exit off turn 2, keeps the spot.
There's Greg Biffle right there in front of Tony Stewart. We hadn't spoken about Greg Biffle hardly at all. All of a sudden, these guys are in the mix.
And on a day when strategy has been so big, 2 tires or 4, no tires, a new crew chief and Matt Pusha doing a very nice job of managing the afternoon for Biffle.
Oh, wreck down.
Big trouble, front straightaway. That's Brian Vickers, who looked like he got a piece of the wall. Jimmy Johnson able to drive through behind. He was back there after having to make that second trip down pit road. Vickers spent a lot of today inside the top 10, was running 22nd when he got the wall here. And now we take a look at what happened.
He's down on the flat right there. Oh,
teammates.
Yeah, they just, that's a hard one. I mean, there was no, he's on the inside. Maybe,
I think Casey just ran. Well, Casey just looked like he ran out of. Casey really had the 36 up on the high side right there, and he was already leaning on the 36.
Yeah, Casey's trying to get off the 36, and I don't know how you could, not like you could do there. You know what I mean?
Mark Martin has gotten the free pass 2 cautions in a row, and he is now back on the lead lap after being 2 laps in arrears.
I think you can make it on fuel
here,
if you stop now and take gas, can't you, Larry, if you make it the rest of the way?
Well, I think we're seeing Ambrose and Logano come right here, as well as Montoya. No question, right here, seeing Stewart, seeing a bunch of them. You can make it from here. Under caution, you're getting about 2 to 1 as far as ratio caution to green using fuel. But Ralph, what's going on? I'm seeing a lot of cars hit pit road.
Larry, originally Greg Zipadelli was thinking about 4 tires. They're going to tighten them up a little bit. He made the call just as he was coming down pit road to take 2 instead, and a whole bunch of fuel as well. Matt?
And meanwhile, while work goes on the 4 car of Casey Kane, looking at the cosmetic damage on the left front, they're going to tug on that. The 24 of Gordon and the 14 of Stewart came in to top off for fuel.
In all, there were 12 drivers that made a pit stop at lap 226. Clint Boyer did not. He is on track and the race leader as we're under caution for the 9th time today. Time for another AT&T Fastest Pit Crew Award. And the update has Ryan Newman spending the least amount of time on pit road today. Use your AT&T phone to get updated standings following the race by texting the car number you think will be quickest to 234567. When prompted, reply OK to receive updates. Back under green, Clint Boyer and Ryan Newman on the front row. Fresher tires for Newman in that outside lane. See if he can make it stick going into turn 3.
Good corner.
Jeff Burton making a move on former teammate Greg Biffle.
Okay, now the way you guys see it is that all these guys have to stop the fuel one more time, correct? like the top 14, top 15
Now, Marty
guys.
told us during the break that Ryan Newman, with that last caution, was 3 laps short on fuel. So one more caution may do it. Larry, do your numbers add up to the same as some of these guys?
Well, a driver that I'm watching right now is that 22 car of Kurt Busch. He was last on pit road at lap 217, which was 83 laps to go. He also, at that same time, took 4 fresh tires, so we know he's good on rubber. As we've seen many times this year, the Dodges seem to get better fuel mileage than anybody, and I go back to a conversation we had during break. For every 2 caution laps, that's like 1 green lap. So I think one more caution actually is going to buy a lot of these drivers the ability to get to the end, in particular Kurt Busch. Here he is sitting back in the 13th, 14th position right now. Great run when you consider we only have 60 laps to go.
In trouble, Jimmy Johnson, the 5-time champion, turns around, 10th yellow flag of the day. And this is going to help everybody that wants to save fuel. And you certainly could make it from here if you came down pit road. Jimmy Johnson running 21st when he went around down in the corner.
He just tried staying off of Montoya. It looked like he got in the corner. This car looked like it's probably pushing up towards Montoya, and he just pinched it down.
We ride with Martin Truex Jr. He had a front row seat.
Get down, get down, get down, get down, get down. Good, all good. Keep coming. No car, caution's out, caution's out.
So pit road is open. And I think this is going to be the defining moment on if anyone's going to come again or not. A lot of guys liking track position.
What do you think they're going to do there, Adam Alexander?
Hey, I'm not the guy to answer this question.
We got the guy that works here that can, though.
I think a lot of them are going to be in.
And how about we start with the guy who's running in the 2nd spot. Greg Biffle in, so is Jeff Burton, Chris.
Jeff Burton going to do 2 tires and fuel. They were going to be 7 laps short, so they didn't think that they were going to get the 15 laps of caution that they would need. Also the 33 in. Ralph?
Matt Fuchsia getting right into the strategy early on here, showing his stuff as the new crew chief for the 16. He said, just put fuel in it, guys. Let's save that last set of right side tires for later if we need it, Marty.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. Pence giving up a top 10 position. He said it's just chattering the right rear of the car the entire time. He said we can't get the balance exactly like I want. A wedge adjustment, trying to tighten that car up. 2 tires for Jr.
Have led the most laps in the race today. Green flag goes back in the air with 57 laps to go here at New Hampshire. That penalty for Dale Earnhardt Jr. tail end of the longest line. He's back in 33rd now. As we got 4 cars you could throw a blanket over at the front of the field. Denny Hamlin been quiet today, but he's up to 3rd here with just a handful of laps to go, Marty.
His run back to the front wasn't very quiet, Adam. He was moving up through the field. He's a little bit of left rear damage. That's it. The chassis wasn't really affected for Denny Hamlin. They are about 5 laps short before that last caution on fuel. Mike Ford told him, once we go green, I'll give you a fuel number. But Denny said, it's hard to save fuel here. You're single file. Everybody's running the same speed, so there's really no opportunities here to save fuel, Adam, but they'll probably be about 3 laps short.
Kurt Busch sees the door open on Ryan Newman. 55 to go, and this the battle for the race lead here at New Hampshire.
Who are you watching, Wally?
I'm watching the 24 car. I just think he's in the best spot right now to me. He's got a great car. He's got all the fuel he needs.
So you're saying the 22 going around the 39 here could be a moot point?
Well, yeah. I'm not sure. The 22 is shutting his car off under caution. So obviously he's thinking that he's got a fuel issue. So, I mean, if it comes down to having to save fuel, these guys are in big trouble.
Kurt Busch unable to make the pass so far, but he has looked good driving inside of Ryan Newman the last couple of laps. And Ryan Newman looks really good off the exit of the corner, Marty.
And he's having to drive so hard, Adam. After restarts, this is where the 39 of Ryan Newman is the worst. Takes about 10 laps for his car to come in. Even after a caution like we just had, it takes a while for it to come in. So he's having to drive extra hard. No shot of Newman saving fuel, and they're still just a little bit short as well, Adam.
The 24 car is 10 laps better on fuel than the 4 cars in front of him. And he just backed off right there and let those guys kind of find their place back and get in position. He's just waiting for them to get lined up at this point in time. Because I'm telling you, he's passed every one of these cars at some point in time in the race.
Yep. And his car is better than all these guys in front of him.
Jamie McMurray running 7th in the late stages, Chris.
Yeah, you talk about those problems they had earlier, a lap down because of a loose lug nut. Well, strategy has gotten them back in this race. The problem is they're 7 laps short on fuel, and Jamie McMurray doesn't even know it because they've been having radio problems. The team has been trying to reach him, but he's not responding. They've asked him to hang his hand out the window going down the front straightaway, but he doesn't do that. So they realize Jamie has no idea that they are short on fuel, so the team right now making a sign.
They better make a bigger sign than that, because he ain't going to see that sign.
No, and one reason he's not going to see it is he doesn't know to look for it.
Yeah.
He doesn't know to look for the sign. You know, in the days when they use pit boards and they use signals, at least you could tell the driver knew to look every couple of laps to see what the pit board was. But these guys can make all the signs they want to, and I'm not sure he's going to see it because he's not used to coming off turn 4 and looking over towards pit road.
If they win it here, this could be the win that locks them in the chase. So no matter what they do, they're hoping for fuel to stay in that 39 car right now.
And that could be the first guy that ran out of fuel right there, the 78 car.
And he pitted at lap 217, the same lap that Ryan Newman last pitted.
2 laps is a lot.
2 laps is a lot. Ryan's catching a little bit of traffic here, and Ryan has been, over the last 2 or 3 laps, Ryan's been 0.2 slower a lap than what the 14 car of Tony Stewart is. So Tony's obviously not worried about fuel at all. You don't know if Ryan's just feathering a little bit and trying to conserve just a touch.
Working lap traffic is Ryan Newman. And as we told you, his teammate 9 laps better on fuel in 2nd. There you see Tony Stewart, Denny Hamlin 3rd, Jeff Gordon 4th.
I'm just watching out the window the Bass Pro guys.
They're trying.
All of them on the wall are trying to tell McMurray to slow down.
McMurray in the 9th position, but he too last pitted at lap 217. No radio communication. The team trying to tell him he's short on fuel the old-fashioned way. They got a sign out.
And I'm telling you.
No, I think they gave up on the sign. I think they're just trying to tell him physically.
Yeah, just slow down.
3 laps to go. This time by for Ryan Newman. And McMurray now out of gas. He makes his pit stop. Newman halfway down the back straightaway. 2.5 laps to go.
Stewart doesn't want to get real close to his teammate, I don't think, right now. You want to be real careful that guy doesn't run out of fuel when you're right behind him.
Right in, yes. But, you know, he has closed up. Ryan has done a great job these last 2 or 3 laps working his way through that traffic, because I'm telling you, he caught that traffic in the worst place he could have caught it, and he really didn't lose anything to Tony. He was patient and worked it, and he made Tony work it the same way in the corners, not down the straightaway.
Last win for Ryan Newman on the flat mile in Phoenix. It came last April, and it was an emotional win for him, helping Tony Stewart to victory lane at Stewart-Haas. The 42 of Juan Pablo Montoya out of gas as the white flag goes in the air. Ryan Newman going to try and hold it together for one more circuit. I'm nervous up here just watching him trying to hang on.
Yeah, you know, you hate to see somebody run like this, and we've seen it so many times over this year and last year. Somebody lead this long in the race and then run out of gas right here as they go to the gas in the middle of the corner.
Ryan Newman has had the dominant car statistically. Off at turn 4, checkered flag goes in the air. 15th career win for Ryan Newman, and right behind him, his teammate. 1-2 finish for Stewart-Haas. And the driver gets the American flag. Give it the New Hampshire accent.